Welcome again. We have all our 4 VMs ready and we have finished OS installation. In this session, we will prepare them for Hadoop cluster installation. Before we move further, start all your VMs and minimize them. We will create putty session and execute some commands to prepare them for Hadoop installation. Make sure you log in as root user or change to super user immediately after login. I am connecting to my master node first and will repeat same steps which I demonstrate here with the rest of the nodes as well. Okay, let's start. First thing I am going to do is to start NTPD service on this node and issue chkconfig command to make sure NTPD is automatically started even if I reboot my machine. NTPD is one of the mandate by HDP and is used to synchronize the clocks of cluster nodes to some common time reference. Next thing, I'll switch off my firewalls by stopping IP tables and IPsec table services. I'm doing this to avoid blocking various Hadoop services to communicate with each other over network. We need HTTP server to deploy our YUM repositories. HTTP is already installed on CentOS by default. I just need to start this service and use it later while creating my local YUM repository. You will have to disable SC Linux. SC Linux is an enhanced security module of Linux which should be disabled during Hadoop installation. You can enable it after installation, but I am going to disable it permanently by modifying SC Linux config file. I am using VI editor to modify files. If you are not familiar with VI, you can use Nano or something else, whichever is more simple and convenient for you. Next step is to modify etc host files and add list of all your nodes with their IP addresses and fully qualified names. You are free to use any domain name of your choice. I prefer to use dplexer.com, but make sure you specify a fully qualified name. You need to modify your network configuration file and add fully qualified name for the current machine. As I already mentioned earlier, you will have to repeat all these steps on all of your nodes. But do remember to change fully qualified name in your network configuration file correctly for various nodes. When I am doing this step for node 1, I'll have to change it to node1.dplexer.com. Be careful with this file. You should not leave any blank space or new line after this. This may cause an error for you at later stages. We are done here with initial configuration. Next step is to install JDK. I'll use WinSCP to copy JDK tarball which I downloaded earlier. Installing JDK is fairly simple. Just make a directory and untar your JDK in that directory. Installation of JDK is complete. You just have to set Java home environment variable in your etc profile and add Java home's bin directory to your path. Source your etc profile once to get your Java home set immediately. You can skip sourcing as we are anyway going to restart our machine at the end. I have planned to complete this installation with no internet connectivity. So I have to disable all CentOS repositories. This is to avoid YUM trying to search for mirrors and throw an error because it can't find them. To disable your default repositories, just add enable equal to 0 for first 3 repositories. Other repos are already disabled by default. We are almost done with just the last step pending. We need to install all of our additional RPMs which we have downloaded earlier. You can use WinSCP to copy all of these RPMs to your VM and execute yum install command to install them. Yum is pretty smart tool which checks all dependencies and install them as well. In our case, however, there is no additional dependency. We are finished with first part of preparation, but you need to repeat this on all of your nodes and restart them once after completing it. Final activity of preparation is to set up a passwordless SSH from your master node to all of your other 3 nodes and to master itself. So you need to perform this activity only on your master node. Make sure that you are on master node and hostname-f command is reflecting correct fully qualified name. Setting up a passwordless SSH is simple 3-step process. As first step, you generate your public and private keys on your master node using ssh-keygen command. SSH keygen will ask you several things, but just keep pressing enter key over all prompts and your public key and private key gets generated. Second step is to copy your public key which is generated in id_rsa.pub file. You need to copy this file to your destination node. Here we are trying to configure passwordless SSH from master to master and we already have public key at master node. So we don't need this step and directly jump to third step. Third step is to add your public key to authorized_keys file at destination node. That is what we are going to do here for master node. You must test that you are able to do a passwordless SSH and don't forget to exit. Now we will do step 2 and step 3 for all other nodes. So let's copy your public key to destination node, which is node 1 in this case. So let's perform step 2 for node 2. And finally step 2 for client node. Now we perform step 3 for all nodes. To do this, you will have to SSH to the destination node and add your public key into authorized_keys and exit from there. Let's test that we are able to SSH without giving password. I'll also double check fully qualified host name using hostname-f command. Little care and testing can save you from getting unnecessary errors and pain at later stage. Congrats, you have finished it. Now you are ready to start Hadoop cluster installation.